So hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to read about the types of climates. So this topic actually has been quite challenging because the NCERT explanations are not very much, they don't have clarity, they lack that clarity, and in GC Neon we have 70 pages dedicated to these 11 climate types. So I have tried to summarize them in my notes. So you could basically categorize these climatic zones on the basis of the latitudes. So considering this as 0 degrees, so we could have five different latitudinal layers. So first is from 0 to 10 degrees, then 10 to 30 degrees, 30 to 45, 45 to 65, and 65 to 90. So these are the ones, these five broad latitudinal classifications. So within these also, we have 9 other classifications. So from 0 to 10 degrees, it is called the equatorial environment, equatorial type of environment. And from 10 to 30 degrees, we have tropical monsoon in the east. So I would like to clarify that this is the eastern margin, this is the eastern column, this is the western margin, and this is the continental or the central continental margins. So towards the uh, tropical eastern margin, we have the tropical monsoon climate. Then the central tropical, we have the Sudan climate. Towards the western tropical side, we have the deserts. Then towards the western uh, side, we also have from 30 to 45 degrees, we have the Mediterranean. Then towards the center, we have steppes, and this is the China climate towards the eastern side. These are called as the warm temperate zones. So in the cold temperate zone, towards the west, we have Laurentian climate, then Siberian, and then the British climate. And these are the polar climate. So these three regions are basically the hot zone, the temperate zone, and the cold temperate zone. So within the hot zone, we influence the easterly trade winds, and within the warm temperate zone, there is an effect of the westerlies. So this is a broad classification of the climate types. So going to them one by one. The equatorial climate. The equatorial climate is also called as the high uniform temperature and well distributed rainfall climate. So it has high uniform temperature and a well distributed rainfall. So in equatorial climate, we could have like hot and wet climate. It could be called as the hot and wet climate. It has uniform temperature, low diurnal range and annual range of temperature. Temperature is always high. Daily maximum is about 30 degrees Celsius and daily minimum is about 20 degrees Celsius. So the temperature is always high. The precipitation is more than 250 centimeters. So closer to the equator, that is why more clouds form up, and thus the precipitation is high due to the convectional rainfall. The convectional rainfall throughout the year. So there is convectional rainfall throughout the year. The type of vegetation is evergreen vegetation, which are called as the selvas in Amazons. These vegetations are in a layered arrangement, so the trees are arranged in layers. There's competition for sunlight because sunlight is the limiting factor over here. So you could see trees trying to climb up over one another in order to gain sunlight. Because of high rich vegetation, there are so many trees and they have to compete in order to attain sunlight. Then there is high diversity of flora and fauna in the equatorial rainforest. So these regions, so these equatorial climate is found in the Amazon basin of South America, Congo basin of Africa, Indonesia, Colombia, Ecuador, Malaysia, Singapore, Papua New Guinea. So one more distinct feature is that there is no winter. There is no marked difference between the season. So no winter. Every season is similar. Also, double rainfall peaks are formed, which coincide with the equinoxes. So double rainfall peaks. There is high relative humidity and soil deteriorates rapidly due to soil erosion because there is a higher precipitation, so there are more chances of soil erosion. That is why the soil deteriorates rapidly. So this is a representation of the regions. So this you could see, this is the Amazon basin, this is Bogota region, which houses Ecuador, Colombia, and this is Amazon basin in Africa, and then Kuala Lumpur for Malaysia, this is Indonesia, this over here, then this is Papua New Guinea, and this tip is Singapore. So this could be summarized as high uniform temperature with well distributed rainfall type of climate. So this is equatorial climate, which has high uniform temperature with well distributed rainfall throughout the years, and there is no proper distinction between the seasons. That is why there is no marked winter season. Moving on to the tropical monsoon climate. Tropical monsoon climate is also called as the humid subtropical climate. So, one of the most significant feature of this type of climate is there is seasonal reversal of winds. So, like there is a definite rainy season because precipitation is concentrated during the monsoon period. So, as in India, the monsoon period starts from June, and there is a definite monsoon period from June till September. This marks an indicator for the tropical monsoon type of climate. There are one or more months of dry seasons. Deciduous, this is why it is favorable for the deciduous vegetation, which are teak and timber. Trees shed leaves during winter. So during this dry season, the trees shed the leaves. The vegetation over here is the jute cultivation, sugar, tea and coffee plantations. Sugar, because sugar is also there in such seasons, and you could see there is a prevailing effect of diabetes in these regions, in India especially. It has now been termed by some people as the diabetes capital. So the soil over here is latosolic soil, which is rapidly leached and exhausted. So this is a representation of the regions which have monsoon type of climate. So the regions of South Asia, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, then Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, East Africa, North Australia, and some regions of South America and the Central America. So these are the regions which house the tropical monsoon type of climate. So this is a representation of the season reversal of winds. So during the summer conditions, this is the summer conditions, and there is a low pressure belt created over here near to India, and there's a high pressure belt in Australia, because of which the southeast monsoon winds travel like this and then turn towards India, causing monsoon over there, causing the rainy season. However, during the winter season, there is high pressure belt created because of high pressure conditions, and there is a low pressure in Australia, because of which these winds, the northwest winds, come and then they deflect towards Australia. So thus they are offshore winds, and therefore only the southern part of India, like only the regions of the Tamil Nadu coast, receive rainfall. So there's a marked dry season, and this is a season where the trees shed their leaves. So also within the tropical monsoon climates, there is tropical marine climate. It is within the monsoon type. Onshore trade winds cause precipitation. As we all know, the onshore trade winds are the ones which cause precipitation. So here we could see these are the onshore winds which are causing precipitation during June, July. Then from both directions throughout the year. So the eastern coast of tropical lands receiving steady rainfall from trade winds all the time. Tropical cyclones and hurricanes and typhoons are a common feature over in the tropical marine climates, because the eastern coast of these tropical lands receives steady rainfall from the trade winds all the time. So you can see in India, the Bay of Bengal region is the one which is so much prone to these cyclones. Moving on to the Sudan type of climate. Sudan type of climate is also known as savanna type of climate, or the tropical continental grasslands. It has distinct wet and dry period. Annual precipitation is less than the tropical monsoon climate, and it has long and definite dry season. So there is a distinct wet and dry period, and there is long and definite dry season. Rainfall occurs in summer due to convection currents. The average rainfall is around 70 centimeters. Savanna grass are the ones which are tall and yellow color with scattered, drought resilient trees. Temperature range increases as one moves away from equator. This is the region. This is the reason basically that the temperature range increases as one moves away from the equator. Extreme diurnal range of temperature. Then Harmattan are the local dust-laden winds in West Africa. Parkland or bush wells are one of the features. Savanna in Africa particularly is a home for wild animals. It's also called as the big game country. So you might have seen the Lion King, the Disney's Lion King. So that is one of the representations of African savanna. You might remember Mufasa and Timon and Pumbaa. So the people over here were cattle pastoralists or settled cultivators. So this is the explanation for the Sudan region. These are the regions which basically have the Sudan type of climate. Sudan region of Africa over here. This is Sudan. This is Sahel right next to it. This is Sudan. So savannas to the south and of the equator in Africa, like these. Llanos and Campos in South America. So Llanos and Campos, and North Australia. These are the regions which have savanna type of climate. Then moving to the desert type of climate. Deserts are basically arid regions which don't receive rainfall. They just don't receive appropriate amount of rainfall. There might be something around less than 25 centimeters per year, but these are hot zone. These are mostly located in hot zone western margins. These are because of the cold ocean currents like the Humboldt, Benguela. The Humboldt current is basically the Peru current over here, and Benguela is over here near the western coast of Africa. And here also there's a desert, which is because of the Great Australian Current. Then the deserts are also one of the reasons for the formation of deserts is because there is nearness to high pressure belts and the offshore trade winds. Therefore, the precipitation is less than 25 centimeter per annum. There is high diurnal range of temperature. So the temperature in the nights are extreme as well as the temperatures in the days are also extreme. So it might range from minus 10 degrees Celsius in night to 50 degrees Celsius, somewhat like this. Like this is a rough representation of what is this high diurnal range of temperature. So it has xerophytic vegetation, which is the one which has adapted to grow in less water because there's scarcity of water in those regions, right? And you might have heard about mirages of water. This is something which is which you could correlate with deserts. So this xerophytic vegetation, examples of this is the cactus, dates, date palms. Patagonian desert in South America is on the lower side of the Andes. So this is also one of the reasons for the formation of deserts because in Patagonian desert, uh, it is on the leeward side. So if rain happens over here, this is the region which is rain shadow and is called the leeward side. So this is the reason for the formation of the Patagonian desert because it is on the leeward side of Andes. So the regions which have these deserts are Sahara Desert, Mojave, Arizona. These are in North America. Then Atacama Desert in South America, Namib and Kalahari in Africa, Victoria and Simpson. So these are the desert regions. So here you can see Mojave. There is Simpson also and Sonoran also. These are because of the Californian cold currents. Then the Peruvian cold currents cause the Atacama Desert, and the Patagonian is because of being on the leeward side of Andes. Patagonia is also a mild latitude desert. Then because of the Benguela current, we have the Namib and Kalahari. This is Sahara. Arabian deserts are also there. This is the Arabian desert. Then Thar in India, the Great Indian Desert. Then Kashgar in Turkestan and Gobi Desert. Turkmenistan basically, not Turkestan. And the Australian desert. Like there are other deserts also. Gibson, Simpson. Then moving on to the Mediterranean type of climate. So one of the distinctive features in order to remember the Mediterranean type of climate is that there is dry summer and wet winter. So it is in the warm temperate western margin. In summers, ITCZ shifts north, so bringing offshore trade winds with no precipitation. Whereas in winter, ITCZ shifts to the south, bringing onshore westerlies, causing good rainfall. So this is the reason why in summers there is total dryness or there is no precipitation, whereas in winter there is a good amount of rainfall because this is due to the influence of the intertropical convergence zone, and this is influenced by the movement of the sun. So during the summer seasons, uh, the sun actually because of the rotation of the earth and the revolution of the earth, the sun is actually faces directly towards the tropic of Cancer, and then there is a shift of ITCZ towards the north, therefore bringing offshore trade winds which carry no vegetation because they are coming because they are going from the shore, so there is no vegetation. Whereas when the ITCZ shifts north, when the ITCZ shifts south, therefore it brings onshore westerlies. Onshore westerlies means the uh, moisture laden winds are coming towards the land. So this is the land, these are coming towards the land. Therefore, they're bringing good amount of rainfall over there. The entire warm temperate region receives rainfall during winter because of the temperate cyclones. This is also one of the reasons why there is wet winter in Mediterranean climate. The vegetation is drought resistant, deep rooted short bushes, for example, grapes, olives, oranges, citrus fruits, and evergreen oak trees. So because of grape cultivation, which is called as viticulture, there are vineyards and there is a prominent culture for wines. Then regions which have the Mediterranean type of climate are near central Chile, California, southwest part of South Africa, southwest and southern Australia, and countries near the Mediterranean Sea. So these are basically the countries near central Chile. This is California, and countries near Mediterranean Sea, then Cape Town, which is southwestern part of South Africa, and southern parts of Australia. So with this, we've come to an end to our discussion on this 5 climatic zones. I'll see you guys in the next video where we discuss about the other 6 climatic zones. And till then, see ya, bye, and all the best for the upcoming examinations. Just 33 days left.